area here. And then we have 3 female killer whales in addition to these 2 guys. Our females are just hanging out in an adjacent environment. Makaio is our youngest killer whale right now. He is 10 years old. And Trua is 15. Our two of our younger females are 14 years old. And then our oldest killer whale is Katina, who is Makaio's mother. She is 45 years old. So quite a bit of an age range, mostly on the younger side though. While we're hanging out with these 2 killer whales, I challenge you guys to take a look if you can see any differences between them. Jackie is here with Makaio, and she's going to kind of be moving around a little bit. Lindsay's on that far side, is going to be helping Justin out with Trua here. So I'll give you a little hint. Size difference does come into play when telling these 2 apart. Since Makaio is our youngest, he is our smallest. Although Trua is not our oldest, he is our biggest though. There's about a 2,000-pound size difference between the 2. For reference, Makaio weighs around 4,400 pounds. Trua is 6,600. And both of these boys are still growing. We've seen their age around maybe 18 or 20 is kind of when they stop growing. There's a good chance that these boys can double in size. On average, male killer whales can weigh anywhere from 8,000 to 12,000 pounds. It's very big. Female killer whales are going to be about half the size of that at 4,000 to 6,000. How do we know exactly how much they weigh, you ask? We have our killer whale size scale right here in this environment. You can see it off to Justin's right. So right there in the center of our environment, that big silver platform. We weigh all of our killer whales about 2 times a month to make sure that they are growing appropriately. Our adult killer whale though, Katina, since she's fully grown at 45 years old, we will weigh her as well just to make sure that she's maintaining a nice and healthy weight. Now going back to tailing them apart, while we're hanging out with Trua, you might notice that he has freckles. Just like we all look different, so do all of our killer whales. And he's our only killer whale that has freckles. He's got 1 freckle on his jaw, so a lot on his chest, and then one of his eye patches on the right side of his head. Whereas Makaio doesn't really have any of those freckles. Researchers out in the ocean will use things like their dorsal fins to identify them too. Those fins on their backs can vary from individual. Eye patches as well can vary. We do have the luxury of looking at their very handsome and very beautiful faces every single day. So that's typically what we as trainers will use to identify them. Real cute. You can take a look at Trua's giant pectoral flipper that's on the side of his body there. It's a lot bigger than Makaio's. Woo! Take a little splash. Now all the training that we do here at SeaWorld, whether it be with killer whales, whether it be with dolphins, sea lions, even lots of different species of fish like sharks and stuff, we all train our animals based on positive reinforcement. This basically means anytime that our animals do something that we're looking for, we're going to give them some sort of reinforcement. Now fish is going to be very reinforcing to a giant killer whale, so you'll see our trainers carrying around lots of big buckets of fish. They've got ice on top, and it's typically there to keep the fish nice and cold, but some of our animals enjoy eating that ice too. Not only do we use fish, but we have a different variety of toys. You guys can kind of see in one of our back areas all the way against that blue wall, we've got a lot of different varieties of toys that we give our animals. Different shapes, different sizes, different colors. Just like we all have likes and dislikes, so do all of our killer whales. Take a look at Trua over here on our slide out. Good boy. Katina, our matriarch, seems to really only enjoy toys that are colored blue. So just different preferences. You'll see our trainers too give them nice gentle back rubs, or flipper rubs, or tail rubs. Killer whales have very sensitive skin, and they have nerve endings all throughout their skin, so sometimes we'll use a nice gentle back rub or a massage as a reinforcer. So lots of different things that we have under our belt as trainers to reinforce our animals for doing a really good job. We wear that whistle around our neck to let our whales know that they did exactly what we were looking for. They can come on back and then get some sort of reinforcement, whether it be that fish, a toy, a back rub, etc. So those whistles aren't actually asking our animals to do anything rather than just saying, great job, come on back. Now what happens when our animals do something that's not quite flip instead. When he comes back to Justin, simply what Justin's going to do is just kind of stand there. That way we're not giving Trua any sort of reinforcement, but once again we're letting him know that wasn't quite exactly what we wanted, and then we can either try it again or we can just move on to something different. You guys see all those circles? I heard Makaio making some sounds over there. Just like bottlenose dolphins, all of those sounds come out of their nose, which is that blowhole on top of their head. And vocalizations can also be another great way to identify individuals. Just like we all sound different, same thing with our killer whales, so we can identify them based on those vocalizations. And make a wide variety of those sounds as well, which is pretty neat. What you guys may not know too is that while we are utilizing hand signals, we also have an underwater tone system. It's kind of hung up on our stage there underneath that blue box, kind of in the right corner, but we have an underwater tone system that has 10 different tones. Just like each one of those hand signals means something different, each one of those 10 tones means a different behavior as well. So while you may not even see our trainers asking our animals to do anything, it may be because we're utilizing that tone system. Okay, pretty cool. If you guys come back and see any of our presentations later on in the day or a different day of the week, we might be utilizing those tones.